a night that when you went in, you probably had a good idea that you weren't going to win this ball game, considering the starting pitcher on the other side. But when you play it and you have opportunities, like you said in the fifth, it's like, man, like just a little knock there, and you're beating him, and that's the frustrating part. I think if you're looking at a ball club, kind of a ball game synopsis of tonight, it was, what could have been. What if you hit the cutoff man? Does that extra run score? What if Ian Happ, gets a hit with 2 outs there? And even like going into the 8th inning too, with Wisdom, it's like it hurts because I think so many times tonight, the guy holding the gun was a guy who isn't going to be here in the future. What hurts is I can take them being unsuccessful at the plate. It hurts when you're burning it on a guy who probably isn't going to be on the roster next year. When they come to the plate and it's Patrick Wisdom and it's not Christopher Morel, it hurts because it's like, I'm not learning anything here. The Cubs could get a hit there and clear the bases and they win the ball game. But did we really learn about the future for, one of these younger guys? And I think that's the part I think that hurts more than the loss to me. It's just the fact that it wasn't Morel in that situation, and that's okay. Hey, it's the game of baseball, and you got to fill out a lineup every day, and people got to play. And you don't get to choose who's up at bat. It's the randomness of the game. But with that said, I think that's what hurts, and I think that's what you're kind of getting at too. When somebody's holding the gun who isn't going to be here in the future, that kind of upsets me a little bit. I don't know about you, but that's kind of what I kind of take from that is like I would rather that be unsuccessful and them not cash in on a run when it's a learning opportunity for a young ball player, opposed to a guy like Patrick Wisdom who's 30 and it's clear that he's going to be an extra player. He won't be an everyday guy, no matter if it's with the Cubs or if it's with somebody else in the future. So I think that's the hard part right now is to, and that's why when we were filling out the lineup tonight, I was like, Christopher Morel, should play third. That's why I was why isn't he at third? Wisdom's struggling, and if you really wanted to get him in the lineup, why didn't you just DH him? That's the so
because you want to get him the experience there at the field too. My only counterpoint to that would be I think he's the type of guy that they want to see him play all these different positions. Like he's the type of guy that they want to see him play third, second, center. You know what I mean? So
that's fair.
And I wouldn't say I like the fact that Wisdom was in the lineup, but I actually kind of thought, maybe I'm a dummy for thinking this, but I was thinking maybe the hunger being feeling the pressure a little bit because a guy like Morel is coming up here and having success, had a huge opening night, right? He's showing this electricity, bringing this energy to the clubhouse. His buddy Marcus Stroman just came back. I mean, Wisdom's cool with him. He was at his concert, like the one that Ron was at, the Mike Stud thing. So I'm thinking in my head, this is a perfect spot for Patrick Wisdom to kind of be like, hey, shut the fuck up. I can hit a baseball 450 feet when I want to. But eventually it's going to come time for some of these guys on the roster where, hey, buddy, you're not going to be there when it's time to compete. And I hate to say that because I've loved what Patrick Swisdom. Well,
yeah, it's true though. It's the same boat.
Yeah. I love what they've brought to the table as far as energy goes and bringing the fan base together and the moments that they've created. It's been unreal. But at some point, it's just like you need to look at, as we've talked about, we need to look at where this team is at, where they're heading, and if they're really going to be here. And right now, I would say Wisdom, Schwisdom, these guys are probably looking like they're on their way out.
Yeah, I just so badly want to see Rivas at first and Morel at third. I just want to see what it looks like. And we're probably going to get it eventually. Who knows? But I don't know. Going into tonight, I was like, I want to see what Rivas does against a great pitcher like Gallen. And then he wasn't in the lineup. It's like, so why?
It's a lefty. Yeah, is it the only thing I can think of was the changeup against lefties, right? Gallen's changeup against lefties, but even then, it's like, dude, you're gonna fucking see that. You're gonna see that as a big leaguer,
right? Yeah, I don't get like the whole like protect the innocence of Rivas so far. I don't like. I want to see if he can sink or swim.